What's up, weirdos? I just watched a movie that was so bad. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. It's Spider-Man Lotus. It's a Spider-Man fan film, which seems like you wouldn't care about it, but it's made by a lot of like online content creator filmmakers. Basically, their pitch for their own fan film went viral years ago, and they crowdfunded for it, and they got $100,000 budget just from strangers online to make their own Spider-Man fan feature film. Okay, sorry, I can't do the video with my hair looking so fluffy. Gotta put it back somehow. Anyways, people were really excited about this, and they had built it up like with a lot of hype. The director was specifically selling himself as like, I don't know, some sort of savant. He had a really big ego and was acting like he had this fresh take on Spider-Man that nobody else had been able to capture in movies before. And then his DMs started getting leaked with screenshots, and stuff like this came out. This is from the director. I just got a message from John Watts. Holy shit. John Watts is the director of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. His movies still garb though. And then another one. Mercury is such a little, I'm not gonna say that. It's kind of a slur-ish word. Over that 9/11 tweet, he should leave Twitter for real. All right. Oh yeah, and then here we go. Honestly, I don't see why people were so upset over me not paying the storyboard artists. This is a fan film, and those N-words need to be grateful that they're finally getting another good Spider-Man movie. So there you can see the racism and the ego. Oh, but that's not all. There's also the star of Spider-Man Lotus, Spider-Man, aka Warden Wayne, and he had some DMs that also got leaked. He sent a picture of that dude and said, here you go. This, that Mexican N-word. Then again, Spider-Man says, I commented, y'all ever make good and funny memes just to flex on blurred vision N-words? And he got mad. Insulting people with glasses, I guess, and black people. Just a real 2-in-1 there. Also cringe, good and funny memes, grow up. Then Warden Wayne said, N-word was mean as hell, always saying N-word, and saying he had BITCHES. So I don't understand, by the way, how there's another screenshot where he says, although N-word looks like he bombs for fun. It doesn't matter what that means. We've got our nation's top cryptographers trying to break down what that sentence means, but it's a codex that's never gonna get decrypted. Wow, good language. I really gotta get my hair in line. Miss Swan. That's totally what this vibe is. Miss Swan. Anyways, there's way more screenshots also related to the actor for Green Goblin, you know, grooming. But I don't want to critique the video through the lens of what they've done as individuals outside of the context of the movie, because that would be too easy and they could sit back and go, man, if those hadn't got leaked, they would have loved it. We did a great job. I want to genuinely look at the film, genuinely critique the film, genuinely point out why it's so bad. It's really bad. And here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm great. Film Cooper, that's how I got started into doing all this stuff. I got a degree at university in filmmaking. I've made feature film. It's not good because of me, because I'm the director and the writer, and it's my fault. But I don't get supportive DMs from Marvel directors and then say, bro, I'm literally better than you. So because the director is egotistical and because Spider-Man is racist, I think that it is okay for me to judge this as a film on its own and fully critique it as hard as I can, because I wouldn't be doing this if they weren't these people. I wouldn't be going after somebody who's like a first-time filmmaker and putting them up for my audience to like critique and make fun of. I would not be doing that. But when you're the writer slash director slash producer and you suck, and your star is also a star slash writer and he also sucks, it's okay to look at the movie and then say, hey, this is garb. So let me take you on a little adventure. Actually, you know what? My hair looks great like this. I just look big and Lion King-y. I was gonna sing, oh, I just can't wait to be king. That's the wrong note. Let's get into it. This is my favorite part. It's the very beginning of the movie. The first two things that we see in this movie perfectly sum up how this movie feels. So you see right there, we've got our first title sequence. GJK. What could that mean? It's like a studio logo, I guess. And then, what's this? A film by Gavin J. Knopp. Okay. So the first two things that we see are my logo, a film by me, somebody who is not the draw or the star power of this. So I don't know why you're making it such a Gavin J. Knopp moment. He's putting a lot of this movie on his own shoulders. When you really want the credit for something, when you really want people to know it's your thing, and that's fine if you can stand behind your decisions. Because Buddy thinks he's Christopher Nolan. He thinks that we're sitting down for the Gavin J. Knopp pick. We're not. We're here to see Spider-Man. Get to Spider-Man. Okay, let's keep going.
And I guess we're all left wondering where the golden days had gone.
Yeah, so this is what the whole movie feels like. If you're just starting to cringe a little bit and feel bad a little bit, this is what the entire movie is. Let me remind you, the reason that this movie exists is because Gavin here pitched, hey, I know how to make an actually faithful Spider-Man feature film. I have a take on this character that is going to be groundbreaking and necessary for that character to be actually portrayed in a way that he deserves. The entire basis of the crowdfunding, the way that they got $100,000, which in filmmaking budget is very low, but in crowdsourcing as nobodies is insanely a lot. And he got all that money off the pitch that he was like this fresh voice to the Spider-Man character. And that's how they start the movie. Gavin J. Knopf, Gavin J. Knopf. Then sad narration over big drone shots that make it look like a high budget movie. I hate to be the one to break the news to you, but the rest of the film doesn't look like it's shot with that quality. That's all I'm gonna say. Those 2 opening drone shots, ooh, so high budget, so high quality. So 2007 Sandra Bullock transition shot as she gets into the new city where she's gonna be being a woman. And by the way, in those movies and in those roles, I sit my white ass down and listen. Sandra Bullock can get it. Anyways, that's the vibe, and then it immediately transitions to what could be the greatest CGI chase sequence I've ever seen. And we're supposed to take a look at the quality from the skyscraper shots to that shot and go, no, this isn't a PS2 sequence. And I will say, my critique right here is if you can't do something, then don't do the bad version of it in your movie that people paid a lot of money for. You should write the script for something that you can actually film. And I say that now, and it's gonna sound like I'm contradicting it later in the movie, because when I tell you nothing happens in this movie, literally, it's, okay, we're gonna get, we're gonna get there. Genuinely nothing happens in a way of like, okay, so it looks like they made this with no money. But then what did they do with the $100,000? My mind goes to, this shot cost $100,000. There's this, and there's like 6 shots that look really cool of Spider-Man in this, and then the rest of it is garbage. So I guess $100,000 for 6 shots, I guess that's what it costs. But I would say instead of spending $20,000 on this shot, you invest that in a cool location, and then maybe you actually write a story where stuff happens. Okay, but you don't even know that that's a valid criticism. Let's keep watching, and I'll show you why that's valid. Because that shot right there, incredible. That shot right there was probably the entire budget. Because that's the only good shot of the entire movie. Now take that shot right there and then look at this scene.
All right, fellas, not all at once. I can only sign so many autographs. All right, look, if you turn yourselves in, I might throw in a collectible item.
That's what happens when you're on Twitter a lot and you see the tweet, man, Andrew Garfield really was the best Spider-Man, even if he wasn't the best Peter Parker. And then they show that video of him like webbing knives to guys. Like, you know what I'm talking about? The first Amazing Spider-Man movie when he's webbing dudes' hands and he's like goofing around with them. They go, hey, remember when Spider-Man was funny? And Gavin J. Knopf saw that tweet and said, yeah, I'm gonna put that in this movie. But what he forgot was the charm and the acting ability and how to film a movie. Because I'm critiquing this not from a stance of their racism or egos. Hey, maybe for your opening shots of your character as Spider-Man, you shouldn't have him shrouded in darkness. And that's gonna be something that we're gonna see throughout this movie, so keep that in mind. Gavin does not know how to light a scene. Gavin thinks because he rented a 4K camera that his shots are all gonna look cool, but what he forgets is that there's an actual technique to directing and also writing a story that anybody cares about. And let's keep going. Yeah, so this is Shocker right here. And this got a lot of criticism on Twitter because people were like, Shocker can't shoot electric blasts. That's not what makes this movie bad though. Them adapting it so that Shocker shoots electric blasts, who cares? I do not care. What I do care about is how painful the Shocker is in this. They could have made him cool. But the shots that Gavin chooses are just pathetic. And I mean that like the character looks like he's pathetic. It looks like that's how he's intentionally being portrayed, which he's not supposed to be. Let's keep going.
Oh no.
What?
What are you wearing?
It's my shocker suit.
Your shocker suit. That's what you're calling.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you come up with that yourself?
Okay, why the frick did you write that in this movie?
Oh man, so I guess it's not that easy to write good dialogue, because that is the most Marvel movie thing that people get clowned on all the time for. Really, Shocker? That's the name you're going with?
Yeah, my name's Shocker. Yeah, and what about it, tough guy?
Well, huh, where'd you come up with it? Took you long to think of that one, huh? Can you just cut to the chase, get to the characters, get to the story, get to the conflict? You don't have to say a little silly little quip every single 3 seconds. And I'm sorry, but choosing to shoot the Shocker from a wide angle while he does this doohickey, the entire time he's wiggling around and moving, and there's no explanation. I guess he just has to pee? You see what I mean right there? Like he's going like, he's not intimidating. He's not scary. There's no world where that guy doesn't just die. He's the least intimidating villain. I feel no stakes in this scene because like that guy's not gonna win. And then also the shot of this dude, I forgot about that shot. That's so funny. This performance of going, I was like, are you doing all right? Wrong way, wrong way.
Oh, better put some ice on that. Here might
That's another thing that you can't do in this movie. Hear what they're saying while there's music playing. Also, the music plays every time anybody speaks in this entire movie. Hey, that must hurt. While the music goes. It's like, I don't know if that's correct sound mixing, but that's what happens when you're a weak director. You think that, oh, strong music makes emotion, and that's fine. You're an imbecile, but you have to know that you're an imbecile before you get $100,000 off of promises of greatness. If I step onto a film set, I mean, like the first 20 times I did that, I was just inept. This dude did that with $100,000 of faith in him, though, and that's disappointing.
I was in the middle of something.
Awesome line. Hey, I was in the middle of something. That's how you should write Spider-Man. That's why this is so groundbreaking. That's why Gavin J. Knopp and Warden Wayne here absolutely opened up a whole new dimension of the character. Spider-Man is when you fight guys in alleys and say little quips. Nobody's ever thought of that before. It's just great because then the other thing that's like the emotional layer of this film is just as corny.
Oh god.
I wish that that's where the movie ended, but he just gets hit and then he goes and punches him like this.
Better luck next time.
That is what's groundbreaking about this movie. That is what nobody else is doing with the character of Spider-Man. They're having him Mario punch, and then he says, better luck next time. And then in this hero shot where we should really be feeling the excitement and the brightness and, you know, the action of the first act Spider-Man, we get him fully shrouded in darkness. Hey, great direction from a director who thinks that Spider-Man should be shown in muddy light. Yeah, I think Spider-Man, the iconic character who's known by his bright red and blue suit, should be shrouded in darkness so that we can't even really see it. And that's what John Watts doesn't get with his garb movies. By the way, I liked Spider-Man Far From Home. I liked it.
Guys, Gwen, I tried to get here on time. I really did.
But your bike was stolen? You're stuck at the Bugle? You're studying late? Something like that, Peter?
So this is where the movie really gets going. Spider-Man meets up at the movie theater with Gwen Stacy, his girlfriend, and Harry Osborn is in the back there looking demented and creepy. And then Mary Jane back there is back there. This movie also does the wild groundbreaking thing with the Mary Jane character where it doesn't do anything with her or any of the other characters though, so I can't really say it is a misogyny type thing. It's just a bad director type thing. Anyways.
Peter, guess who we saw in the theater today? Flash Thompson and Liz Allen.
Never gonna last.
No. In a shoe game, absolutely embarrassing.
MJ, I have a pair just like this.
So they talk for a little bit and then the music happens and then their voices go down to nothing. And he's just looking at this girl who seems to not give a damn about him. I don't know what they were thinking when they cast these two people who clearly hate each other, but trust me when I tell you, this scene is supposed to be establishing the deep, intimate connection and bond that he has with these three other people. The entire movie is about the bond of these three people and the fallout of a certain event that we're about to see. And what I'm getting from this is everybody hates Peter Parker. Look at her face right now. Look at her face. That is not the face of somebody who is staring endearingly at her boyfriend. But let's keep going. Maybe Gavin was making maybe he was making some moves here.
Hey, what do you guys say we go grab some dinner?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna head home. It's getting a little late.
Warden Wayne is doing a fantastic portrayal of Peter Parker. You know, the main things about Peter Parker are he goes like this and doesn't have anything behind his eyes. He's just not a good actor, and it's okay. I'm not a good actor either. I'm bad, actually. But he's just like me, and I can't let him think that he's cool for being Spider-Man when it's not going well. This is the performance he's giving. Hey, Gwen, wait, what's going on? Hey, maybe we could go get dinner afterwards? I don't know. And then in the voiceover, I was sad. Been sad for 5 years. I wish my problems now were as easy as just being sad for 5 years. That's like, okay. So that's who you are, but then when you put on the Spider-Man suit, you have to have your little Andrew Garfield moment because people like that. You're not being a consistent character. You're just playing the text of the scene. Oh, there's no subtext. Me when there's no subtext. Oh. Okay, but let's cut to the chase. So she doesn't want to hang out. But then creepy guy and blonde girl look at each other for a second, and then she says okay, and then they go have dinner.
The four of us had that rare bond you only get to experience and see every so often.
Can you shut up? What do you think this movie is? This does not feel like Spider-Man. That's the key problem of this. This is not a Spider-Man feeling movie. Spider-Man movie should have excitement, should have a little bit of childlike glee. It's the first act of a Spider-Man movie. Let us have fun with Spider-Man before you give him any personal problems. We don't even know what his personal problems are right now, and he's sitting there going, yeah, we used to have a bond like no other. The four of us, you could have said, we're a friend group. You could almost say that these four people create the perfect friend group. With the sad-ass orchestral music thing, here is the key problem, because as you can obviously tell, this is some sentimental thing where he's doing a voiceover after some tragedy. Okay, we can tell that, and it's sentimental. However, I'm actually genuinely critiquing this as a movie, because as a movie, it's bad. You're holding us at arm's length from these characters because you're not letting us experience the connection between them. Only letting us experience their connection through the lens of some unknown tragedy that we don't know what it is. And not in a way of, oh, there's some sort of mystery. You are giving bad clarity as a director, and the feeling is muddled, and I have no emotional draw to continue watching this movie. If I didn't know that I was filming this video, I would have not even made it this far. Okay, there's nothing to this movie so far, other than hints of something's wrong with them, but then we don't even care about them because we just know something's wrong in general, and that's it. Let's keep going.
I could have spent our entire lives without getting tired of hearing your voice.
Okay, can you just grow up for a second? What are you doing as a director? What are you actually doing here? You have absolutely not lit any of the characters in like 90% of your shots. Can't see their faces, you can't see their performances. You are a bad director. You are doing a bad job, and the reason that the movie is bad is because you are bad and you're making bad choices. It's not because people don't like you. People also don't like you, and you're a bad artist. It's those two things combined, Gavin. Why is he talking so sentimentally and so sad? And we can't see his face. We can't see what the emotion is. It's not like, oh, shrouded in darkness. It's gray. There's no intentional blacks. If it was intentional blacks, then we'd be talking about something like an Only God Forgives or a Drive. That director, like that aesthetic, has intentional darkness. This is just muddled BS that's poorly lit, and you don't know what you're doing as a filmmaker. I don't mess up like this. That's not true. I've messed up like this many times, but I don't do it with $100,000 of people's faith in me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So can you tell that I have, like, I'm triggered about filmmakers because I went to university with them and I don't like, I'd say 98% of them, but you 2%. That was a bad little growl because I'm a bad boy. I'm sorry.
Feel patient.
No reason. Just to get away from everything.
So there we go. In this scene, Warden Wayne knows that something bad's gonna happen in the future. So knowing that, he's acting in this scene so dramatic and so serious. Bro, you're talking about going on a trip with your girlfriend whom you love and you think she's pretty. You should be excited. You're Peter Parker. You should be excited about a trip with Gwen Stacy. You should be happy about it. You should have a little bit of energy, a little bit of life, a little bit of not moroseness. What are you, Zack Snyder? You're not. You're worse than Zack Snyder. Do you know how much I have to be saying to say that? Zack Snyder's fine. I'm sorry. He's fine. But if you ever say he's one of the greatest visual directors of all time, I can tell that you've not watched any movies ever. I'm sorry. I'm getting annoying. Just very triggered. Spider-Man should be happy. I just think Spider-Man should be happy. And if you don't make him happy, then you make me sad. Let's keep going. Because this is my favorite part. She looks back, shrouded in darkness. We don't even know what her emotions are because Gavin didn't light the fucking scene. Oh, what's he doing? What's he holding? What's he got in his pocket? A ring! But then she comes over. She sees him waiting expectantly after he got her attention and was like, get back over here. And then he looks at her like this. For 3 minutes straight. And then finally this happens. Ooh. He doesn't want to propose to you anymore, girl, because he doesn't love you. Now, why, as a filmmaker, are you giving us actors who already were going, yeah, these characters are the ages that we picture Spider-Man as. These look like high schoolers. These all look like they're juniors in high school. And they all go to the same theater program. And they're demons at their theater program. And they won't stop talking about this. And everybody's judging them and being annoyed. And those people are very excited. And they're looking at these hate comments and probably watching this video being like, yeah, Warden, you're not a cool theater boy. I'm a cool theater boy. And I just want to say, I love you, theater boy and theater girl. And theater theys. Everybody throw up the weirdo sign for the theater theys. Anyways, these actors are not old enough for me to believably invest in I was gonna propose to you, especially when the chemistry about them earlier was just they don't like each other and they're distant. But watch this, because we get a little bit of a kiss scene, so we get to see the chemistry between these two actors.
Completely perfect and beautiful.
That was so passionate. That was so incredible. That's true love's kiss. If there's one thing my white ass loves, it's true love's kiss. That was absolutely no chemistry. I do not believe that those people who kiss like that were about to get engaged, especially when they're 18 years old. If they kissed with the ravenous of a flock of crows that hadn't seen prey in months, if they kissed with that ferocity, then I would believe that they'd be getting married at that age, because that is what 18-year-olds who get engaged kiss like. This is not. And if I'm being honest, I think the characters are probably supposed to be like 17 or 16, because that's what they look like. I just didn't want to throw the age 16 in there, because that's gross. Anyways, no chemistry. What happens next? Cut to black. Cut to thunder. What's gonna happen? Oh, more titles. More Gavin J. Knopf titles. So far we've had GJK, then a film by Gavin J. Knopf, then GJK Presents, and then another directed by Gavin J. Knopf. This guy thinks that this is his magnum opus. Oh my gosh, it's crazy how much weight he's putting behind this. And I know that in his mind he's probably going, wait, but these title sequences are really cool. Yeah, the title sequences were made by some other dude. He did a great job. The title sequence guy, hey, great job. Or title person. Anyways, the credits go away and we get this incredibly lit scene of Grays.
The whole Spider-Man accountable for straight up suspected killings. Following the deaths of Captain George Stacy, his daughter Gwen Stacy, and the most recent death.
So he proposes to this woman after having a very uncomfortable conversation with her. Actually, by the way, doesn't propose. They share a very awkward kiss. Cut to black, and then it returns, and the climax of the movie has already happened. He's torn up, his suit is in shreds. We find out that Gwen Stacy is dead. When I say a problem that should have been solved in pre-production, when I say, hey, that shouldn't have gotten out of the first draft, that's what the movie is. The exciting part, the thing that it builds to, no. That happened during the title sequence. What's gonna happen afterwards is the characters just walking around being sad. That's literally what it is, by the way. It's literally the rest of the movie, the characters walking around being sad. This is what Gavin thought was gonna be the new breath of Spider-Man in film history. That John Watts movies were garbage, and that the way to do that is to make the interesting parts of the movie happen off screen. It's just embarrassing. Because it's like, what are you doing? Because the rest of the movie, it's just Spider-Man being sad that his girlfriend died. All that we know about them is that they seem to not like each other. And then he didn't want to propose. And then we're supposed to care that she's so bad as a director and a writer to write a movie like. Because you might be thinking, you might be going, wait. But surely he'll have like flashbacks to this and we'll have new information. Let me take you on the rest of this movie and just show you what they do. Because I'm sorry, I gotta compose myself. It's not funny. I should be critiquing it. I shouldn't be genuinely laughing at it. I'm just having such a hard time keeping it together with those decisions that he thought was like the thing to do. And he sold it as if he's doing this incredible thing. And it's okay because he got one cool trailer shot of Spider-Man swinging at the beginning. Oh my God. But here we get Spider-Man kneeling, crying, sad as he stares into Gwen Stacy's gravestone. Hey, this is what Spider-Man is all about. The inciting incident and onwards, he should be depressed and morose. And from the inciting incident and before, we should have him depressed and morose voicing over it. And then we should have the actor acting sad and morose because he doesn't know how to act. By the way, I don't either. The feature film that I made such a blunder in like the transition in my inciting incident of my movie that's on Amazon Prime. I just, as a writer and as a director, I fucked it. Now I'll tell you this, the third act, hey, I like the third act of my movie, I'll give it that. Because I had the movie happen in the movie. I didn't have it happen in the title sequence. But I understand when you're making your first feature, you can make massive errors in like logic in the writing and directing of it. But I wouldn't think that the errors that you would make are, let's make the key component of the character and the only reason that people care about the movie that we're making, let's make that non-existent. So it's just a short film about a sad dude who's named Peter Parker. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, so he's here, he's sad. Mary Jane comes up, she's there, she's sad, and that's what the conversation is.
I had a feeling that you might be here.
She had that feeling though. That was a big pause. But it's that dialogue. It's that dialogue, baby. It's that Warren Wayne, Gavin J. Knopf dialogue special. Come on, cook it up. Cook it up. Come on now. Oh, a man staring morosely at a gravestone. A woman approaches. What's she gonna say here? Hey, let me cook. I thought I'd find you here. It's like, Yeah, that's ChatGPT. People like Gavin J. Knopf, I'm gonna keep saying his name so that the disappointment seeps into his soul. People like Gavin J. Knopf probably see like the writer's strike and go, really? Are we not allowed to use AI? Because it writes the exact same way I do. I asked ChatGPT to write a Spider-Man script and it was pretty much exactly what I did on my own. And that's a sign not that ChatGPT is good, but that you, Gavin J. Knopf, are bad. But let's keep going though. At this scene shot in the middle of the day where his face is not intentionally shrouded in darkness, just hard to see and poorly lit.
Your Aunt May called, and Jonah, and Robbie.
What are you doing here?
I do love the way that they pause and they only have one line every minute. What are you doing here? I thought I told you. I thought I'd find you here. Here's what I'm saying. If you're gonna raise $100,000, at least just do the character right. Even if it's dog shit, at least do the character right. I could do a better Spider-Man short film than this. And it would be bad. I would do a bad job and it would be better than this. If this video gets 1 million views, I will do a dog shit 5-minute Spider-Man short film and it will be better than that, okay? Dog shit. I'll be long hair Peter Parker and it will be dog shit. But if it gets 1 million views, I'll do it. Just to prove that it's not that hard. It is hard, but come on, light his face. Anyways, they're sad and they argue for a very long time, and it never once feels like Spider-Man. Oh yeah, but she brings him this note and he opens it up and reads it sadly, and there's some kid who really loves Spider-Man and he's terminally ill. So it's a Make-A-Wish movie. That's what the climax of this movie is. It's a Make-A-Wish Foundation movie, which is fine. We love the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But if I walk into Spider-Man Far From Home and it's just Spider-Man going and, you know, rubbing shoulders with Jeremy Renner, actually I would love that. If it was just not Hawkeye, Spider-Man and Jeremy Renner visiting Children's Mercy, I'd like that. Okay, maybe I'd take it back. Maybe it's just Gavin J. Knopf did a bad job with it. Because anyways, he reads this, he feels sad, and he goes to visit this kid. But first, and with no clarity, he goes to a different place. And as a director, you would expect there to be some sort of reasoning, some sort of forward motion from the end of one scene into another one. But no, it ends with, this kid's terminally ill, let me go see him. Then Warden Wayne opens the door and sees... He sees something. We don't see him though.
What is this? It doesn't matter.
So he finds his friend Harry Osborn that we saw earlier laying on a bed, passed out. He wakes him up. Then we find out, oh my God, those are pills. And again, the shot is not lit well. That is a key prop. The shot should be about that. An insert, or you should light it well, not just the windows. Then these characters have a scene where they do theater school at each other.
Why didn't you show up? Listen to me, she had a funeral.
Wait, does this not feel like Spider-Man to you? Because it should. This is Spider-Man. Anyways, let's keep going because they just have an argument for a little bit, but then it goes Oppenheimer mode and they switch to black and white. Oppenheimer invented black and white. That's true. That's true.
You killed me.
Okay, so that's what the scene is. So I guess now we know the internal conflict is Spider-Man feels guilty for Gwen Stacy dying. This is an incredibly groundbreaking character development. Spider-Man has never been personally involved in a loved one who's passed away and then felt guilty about it. The number one thing about Spider-Man is not that he has personal problems. I just don't understand what is groundbreaking about this or what is supposed to be so exciting or so brand new. So in that clip right there, I guess it's just a montage of stuff that's supposed to be showing what's tormenting him. Yeah, and you would think that the lines that they're saying are something that the director would be interested in us hearing. But what Gavin has decided to do is let it be indiscernible from just... And that's been going on throughout this entire movie. Let me go and show you a couple key moments where you can't hear what they're saying.
Good night, Peter.
Huh? Get up. Goodbye, Peter. Mom. No. Goodbye, Peter. Sorry, what was that? No. Actually, you know what? I just want to show you that one. That one's funny. So then Peter has a dream, and he's, by the way, tormented in it. He's tormented and he's sad. Such an interesting layer of Peter Parker that's so great to see consistently and exclusively in this film. So he takes that sweaty chest out of bed and he goes into his kitchen, makes a little bit of coffee, and interestingly, shrouds his face in darkness. I'm not making this up. Gavin is the worst director as far as making a film look good. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Look at this. this shot, you have to be joking. You can also see it's not that he's making it intentionally dark. If it was intentionally dark, you would show that by the contrast. This is not good contrast. This is muddly gray. You can't see his face. You get nothing from his face. And you're supposed to be getting stuff from his face. This is him internally struggling with what we just saw. And instead of it being like, oh, his face is darkness, we can kind of see his face, but not really see it. It's just bad filmmaking. But then he has a little thumb drive that he puts into his laptop and he gets to see more memories and then do what? Yearn more? All he does is yearn. All I do is yearn. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit amped up. I feel giggly and I don't like being giggly. I'm a grown ass man. Yeah, again, let's not see his face. Oh, we're struggling with intense emotions right now and he's giving a performance where he's sad and crying. How about we hide that in darkness? Intentionally and for an artistic choice? No, because if you had done that, and if you say that you did do it artistically, then you did it poorly, because I understand the instinct. Oh, shroud it in darkness, that's cool. Aesthetically, yes, but you didn't do that. You shrouded it in gray muck, which is ugly. It's YouTube compression. It's not YouTube compression. You sound like David Benioff from Game of Thrones, idiot. Sorry, I'm being critical, but that's what we're here for. This entire montage, like some of these shots, I'm just gonna show you some of them right now. There's absolutely, like, I don't know why we care. I get cause like, oh, we're supposed to care because he's so sad now that she's gone and he's looking back. But we never, ever got this. If you were a good director, if you were making smart decisions, you would have these exciting, happy sequences where they're bonding together. You would give those to us first as an audience so that we could love them and care about them in the same way that Spider-Man does. And if we love and care about them the same way that Spider-Man does, we actually feel it when that person's absence, they die. But if we don't care about them and all we feel is just a sad, detached sense of moroseness with somber voiceover and no chemistry between the two characters, I don't think that we're gonna care when they die, and I really think that it's gonna feel like a waste of my time when I watch a 7-minute montage. But that's me. I'm not kidding though. That scene goes on for so long. It's excruciatingly long, and we don't care, so we really don't care. So you would hope, after all of that emotional buildup that he's attempting to do here, you would think that then we get a cool Spider-Man scene where, okay, these emotions that he's feeling, this is how he expresses them. He expresses them as Spider-Man saving people. No, what we get next is a twice as long walking montage of Harry Osborn, who I really don't care about. It's just this. It was happening so long, by the way, that I was struck by it and then had time to get out my camera and film 3 videos while I was watching this for the first time.
Bro thinks he's Joker. Bro really thinks that he's Wong Kar-wai right now. Bro thinks that we're watching Chungking Express. Bro thinks he's Oppenheimer. Bro really thinks he's hearing the music. Bro thinks he understands quantum physics for the first time. At the time of watching it, could not handle how painfully bad it was. The dude thinks that he's Wong Kar-wai. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's move forwards. What happens next is another Spider-Man montage.
Gwen, wake up.
So right here we get a scene where we can't see the characters' faces because Gavin Jaconoff is a dog shit director. Remembering how she passed away. And it's in black and white because it had been in the past. But then look what happens right here. Okay, so in my mind, that transition right there, that indicates to me that these are existing in separate timelines, separate spaces. There's something very different about these because you're making an intentional cut from the goblin laughing, and then you're all of a sudden in color fighting the goblin. This feels like 2 separate timelines. What you're gonna find out, that's not true. That makes no sense. This is all still memory. This isn't happening right now. This isn't, oh, we're back in regular time, which is what the black and white to color would indicate. This is black and white, the memory of her dying, to, in color, the memory of him fighting the goblin right after she died. That is what that is. He's not doing this in modern time. This is happening in a memory. I don't know why he made that decision as a director, because that's a bad decision. Is the fight cool? No, it's just like a classic 2 people punching each other. But then at one point, Spider-Man jumps in the air. What a cool hero shot. Would be interesting if the character was, I don't know, lit. I keep saying this and it sounds like I'm harping on it. I cannot believe how poorly lit this is. And I'm not blaming it on the cinematographer. I'm blaming it on Gavin. This is a Gavin director problem to have. If you are the director, the look of the film ends up on your shoulders, okay? Take some accountability, dude. But anyway, so he's remembering this. In the rain. He's in the rain right now. Okay, so he's in the rain, remembering himself in black and white, remembering himself right after being black and white in color, fighting, and he's also in the rain. What's he doing in the rain? Nothing comes of it. It's just cool shots of Spider-Man in the rain. That's true, and that's kind of lame, in my opinion. And I know what Gavin is saying right now. This is the climax of the movie. I didn't cut away from it. I just put it later. You put it at like the midpoint of the movie. If you're doing a reveal or a twist, it makes sense. But the thing that would make sense is if her dying in the cutting to black was the midpoint, and then this climax and the reveal of the climax was the climax of the movie. That's how you would do that. And you would also do it in a way where the entire first half of the movie isn't morose sadness. It's just wrong decisions as a director. Like structurally, from a writer, from a director, wrong decisions. And that's fine. That's fine. You're bad. You can't be so egotistical and call John Watts's movies garb and then make this, which is riddled with incorrect choices from a fundamental standpoint. And I'm not criticizing it based on you being a D-bag. You being a D-bag has just given me the freedom to truly criticize it as if it's an actual movie, which I guess it's a fan film. I don't know, man. But was the scene actually good? Was the conflict good? Was it cool? Was the writing of the actual interaction cool? Let's see.
It was never about me, the city, or anyone else. It was you.
Oh my god, that's so groundbreaking and incredible. A Joker-coded character saying it wasn't about me or the city or any other people, it was about you. That's groundbreaking. That's never been done with the Joker-coded character before. Unless, does this ring any bells? And then he goes like this, he goes like this, he sticks his tongue out, he goes, and then he goes, the Batman. That's what Heath Ledger does one time. So basically what I'm saying is, this is cliched, this is corny, and you are no Heath Ledger. But anyways, yeah, he says, see you in hell. That's how the scene ends. It ends on the characters' faces shrouded in darkness. Oh my god, it's incredible. Darkness in a burning building. Gavin Jaconoff, you have absolutely done it again. You are breaking the standards. Rate 10. BMS. TBH, your movies are so dark. Rate BMS, break my scale. And by dark, I mean enlightening. So he has that memory and then he's so sad in the rain. And you might be tempted to say that this is a cool looking shot. And here's what I will say. That is a very cool looking shot. So is the one other shot of Spider-Man going like this at the beginning of the movie. Now, I'm gonna say something that could potentially be controversial. A couple cool shots that people can use as wallpapers on their laptops does not make you a good filmmaker with a good movie. It means that you have two shots where your CGI team did a really good job. This, by the way, is what moody, dark lighting should look like. This is moody and dark lighting. This is good. It's intentional. It comes with purpose. There's light coming from the raindrops. It's scattering. It's backlighting. It's got highlights. It's good. Any shot that is clearly not CGI that's dark looks garbage. Garbage. He's not lighting the scenes on the day in a way that a director should. Ooh, got him. Ooh, kill him. Anyways, then, if you can believe it, Mary Jane feels sad about Gwen for an entire scene. Then, the Flash feels sad about, don't know why we care about him. I personally don't. But I do want to show you one little moment from this Flash scene.
Look, Gwen's death hit everyone hard, and I'm sure it hit Peter the hardest, and
I don't need to see any more. I already know that dude is an absolute demon in the theater department. That dude is going through the theater department with a ferocity that would rival Genghis Khan. That man cannot be trusted. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that dude is reading Jane Austen for one reason and one reason only, and it's not the reason that I have. And not like me, who reads Jane Austen because I'm different. But that, you know, hey. But yeah, anyways, this guy has absolute leader of the theater department written all over him, and I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for him, and I hope that he's peaking so hard right now. Anyways, then Spider-Man goes to Make-A-Wish Kid, and believe it or not, that's the entire movie. Oh my god! It's Spider-Man hugging him. Okay, sure, but look at everything on the background. A Spider-Man superfan. Do you see all these Spider-Man comic books? The Spider-Man merch?
Tim, honey, why don't you go and show Spider-Man your comic book collection?
The Spider-Man toys in the background. There's Spider-Man everything. Oh, go show him your Spider-Man. Yeah, this dude loves Spider-Man. They get out a Spider-Man video game. And there's, by the way, the Spider-Man cartoon is on screen multiple times in the background. There's all these Spider-Man comics, all these Spider-Man toys. This says, The Amazing Spider-Man and the Masked Menace, copyright 2008. How old is Spider-Man in this movie? We had just previously talked about it. It only makes sense with him as an actor to be like, I mean, high school senior at best. Those people look like juniors or sophomores. Oh, sorry for all you Canadians who are living in Paris right now. I'm talking about grade 11, maybe grade 10. So who the hell are these games based off of? This is the biggest plot hole ever. The entire point of the, like, why? Why would you do this? What is this? Like, oh, this is a love letter to Spider-Man. This is what Spider-Man means to all of us. So we're gonna tell Spider-Man we love him. Is that what you're trying to do, Gavin? That's pathetic. Maybe if you wanted to tell Spider-Man you loved him, maybe you'd make a good movie. Hey, if you love Spider-Man so much, why don't you marry him? Well, you can't marry this Spider-Man because he's a racist. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. that, was a racist and still continues to be the person who was a racist. I'm sorry, listen. Sometimes when things come back from a long time ago, I understand you can't judge people for their past while also believing that people can change and having an optimistic view of humanity. I understand that. But this was not like slipping up. He was texting with hard ERs and saying them as insults towards people. Like literally using it as a insult, not a, oh, I just grew up around it, you know, it popped out. Look, what? You tell me a word I can't say, you think I never said it ever? That's not what he's saying, so don't think of it as that and brush it off in any way. He was going in with this. Anyways, I said that I wasn't going to be critiquing it from that standpoint, but I would say, you're bad actor, you're bad, L. I'm not good either, but you're bad, L. So yeah, this game right here, so that scene happens, and he's sad because Gwen dies and he feels guilty about it.
I have no one else.
Wow, he used to be famous when it was black and white and there were flash photography from the 1960s. How old is this dude? How long has this guy been famous? He's just been going around doing little tours? He's doing like a YouTuber tour? In the lore of this movie, by the way, he's only been doing this for 5 years. So he got very famous, got entire franchises built around him, and he's still living in his broke-ass apartment, broke-ass boy, got no money-ass boy, got no wallet-ass boy. But what happens in this? It's kind of hard to see because it's not lit well. But anyways, at some point, a guy right here, look at this, Ooh, an out of focus, blurry, dark guy walks past him. And then later, he finds out that that guy killed Uncle Ben. In this scene, which is... Dude, that's awesome. If you ever want to make a punch look powerful, obviously stack up a bunch of cardboard boxes behind them and then have them fall into those. That's gonna be big budget, baby.
You've got plenty of loot.
Yeah, so he picks him up, he chokes him, and then he takes off his mask and he sees, oh my god.
There's no changing the past.
There's no changing the past. This is what I love about Spider-Man, when it's always sad and nothing exciting ever happens. God, I would hate it if I saw something interesting happen in a Spider-Man movie. Good thing I've got Gavin J. Knopf's Spider-Man Lotus to turn on. Anyways, he goes back to the kid, still hanging out with the kid. Then we are reminded, oh, that dark story where he's talking about almost killing a man because of revenge. He's telling that to a Make-A-Wish kid. That's what that entire flashback was him telling his very dark, very personal, very like tragic origin story to a little Make-A-Wish kid. Then Harry Osborn and Mary sigh and breathe heavily in a rainy car while they're sad. Oh my god, this movie's groundbreaking. And then Spider-Man wants to leave the house because he's so sad and he just told a kid about his uncle who died and then how he tried to revenge kill somebody. And then that Make-A-Wish kid's mom says this.
It doesn't matter what you think about yourself because he deserves somebody to believe in.
Oh my god, Spider-Man has to believe in himself? So he's gonna believe in himself and then have a big old fight, and that's what Spider-Man movies are. No, he's just gonna go back into the kid and say, hey, I'm sorry I said all that. You can still have faith even though you're terminally ill. He's terminally ill, so I don't know what the whole plot of this is. Have faith in yourself, unless you're a terminally ill kid. In that case, racist Spider-Man's just gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. But yeah, so he goes there and he tells the kid to have hope even though the kid is going to absolutely die from terminal illness, which sucks and is very sad. That woman told Spider-Man to believe in himself, and this is how the movie deals with these issues. Then he shows the kid that he's Spider-Man. Why? Because, well, he's terminally ill. I guess that's what the point of the movie is.
Bigger than that, too.
Oh my god, a little kid looking at a Spider-Man mask and thinking anybody can be behind that mask? Wow, that really is groundbreaking, Gavin. Nobody's ever done that in Spider-Man before. Oh my god, that's literally what every single movie does. There's nothing about this movie that's interesting. And then, oh, we find out...
Just checking in to say hi.
So here's where we get the reveal that he was just recording this...
I miss you.
sad-ass message that we were listening to is the voiceover. The voiceover of the entire movie is him sitting there and recording a message to her. I guess that's cute. Hey, write it down, dude. Put some effort into it for your dead ex-girlfriend. Is she your ex-girlfriend if she dies? Or are you just a cheater forever? Could have been your fiance if you had the balls or any chemistry or any love connection with her. But then, and I'm gonna give them credit here, they end the movie the way that they always should have. The only way that this movie could end. With three characters in a very sad room in lighting so dark you can't see their faces with a very bright background that serves no point to the storytelling. And that is what makes a Gavin J. Knopf film a Gavin J. Knopf film. But that's the end of the movie. And it's what I would call a very, 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 very bad movie. But thank you so much for watching it with me. I love you weirdos very much. Please subscribe.
These necklaces are restocked, baby. They are restocked, they're available, and they're shipping internationally. International shipping, and they're going worldwide. I don't know, I really like them. And by the way, they're really high quality, so they're made of real natural stones, real freshwater natural pearls, real sterling silver on the clasps. They're high quality. I like them. I personally wear them all the time. I love them. I think you should wear them too. That's just my opinion, but that's me.